What is up, you guys? My name is Aubrey and this is my channel, and today I want to talk to you guys about a couple of different things regarding the camper van. So where we left off last week with the camper van, I was in the process of installing the subfloor with HP. So we installed the studs in the floor and we also installed the insulation. And where we had left off in the last camper van video, we still needed to install the actual subfloor. So the sheet of like plywood that would go between the insulation and the decorative flooring. Now the process of doing this was pretty easy and straightforward. It was simply just a matter of cutting the plywood to shape and then securing it to the floor. So while this footage is playing in the background in super fast speed, I'm going to go through and I'm going to take you guys through kind of what the design ideas currently are for the camper van, because we have a lot planned for the van aesthetically and functionality wise, and this is something I haven't really talked to you guys about at all so far. So right here I have a software called VanSpace 3D, and this is a software that helps you figure out what the layout of your van is going to be. Now this is a really cheap software. It was $20 just for a lifetime use, and so just $20 for it, and it doesn't work perfectly. This isn't the exact van that I have and this isn't the exact layout, but it gives you a pretty decent idea of what the van will look like. So this right here is a side view, so let's pretend like this is a side profile right here. So with the side view in mind, whenever the person slides open the van, they'll kind of have half of a kitchenette right there. If we go to the top view, you can see that this is kind of where I picture the stove area to be. This is where I picture the sink and kind of the other counter space to be. And then the bed, of course, would be right here. I mean, for the most part, there isn't going to be a whole lot of room to fit here other than this stuff. There is an idea, and this van shows this wall here, but there won't actually be a wall there in real life. My idea is, because of the fact that the passenger's chair, it swivels, to be able to turn around and then use this as a desk as well. So this counter space will kind of double as a kitchenette slash storage slash desk area as well, because I definitely plan on working while we have the van, and I think anybody that rents a van will also want to work as well. So if we go to the back, and again, this isn't like a perfect science as far as the layout of the van goes. If we were going by this drawing and rendering alone, we would have a very ugly and non-functioning van. So this is, again, just to kind of give you a visual. So right here we have the water tank. There is going to be a water tank and a water heater behind the bed, or underneath the bed, I mean, and above it's going to be a fixed bed. So there are a lot of different beds that you can get for a camper van. You see ones that fold up into a table, ones that kind of fold in half to allow more room. Because of the fact that I have no desire to live in this van full time, years at a time or months at a time, we're just doing a fixed bed. Because of that, we just think it's going to be easier, it's going to be less of a pain, and we just don't really feel the need in having one that folds up, because I don't think space is going to be a big issue. And so then the water tank will be underneath here, and then underneath here will be storage for bikes and stuff. So this is the rough kind of design of the van as a whole. You can see the different views, rear, top. We already have this AC unit. We just need to install it. And then, of course, the front area. And there will not be a wall here in real life. So now that we know the kind of rough layout of the van, let's look at some photos that I found that are kind of what I'm picturing for what I want it to look like. So right here you can see kind of two of the pieces of inspiration I would say I'm getting for the interior design of the van. Now, the picture of the left is really kind of what I love as far as aesthetically for the van. I really like kind of the natural wood flooring. I like the natural wood ceilings. I think that we're going to end up going with something very similar for both of these for the van. I also really love the layout of these counters, and pretty much this is exactly kind of what I'm picturing for our van, to have overhead storage and then a counter here with a sink near the sliding glass door, and then a counter over here on the other end with, a cooking vessel and more countertops. I love the color of these countertops. I really love everything about it. Two big changes would be, one, this bed area. We're not going to be doing a bed like that. This is probably one where you lower the table and then you fold the seats out to make a bed, and we're just doing a fixed bed. So there will be a bed here, not like a seating area. And the other thing is these cabinets. You see these cabinets are white, and that brings us to the photo on the right. So if I had my way, I would make it so the cabinets are this olive green color. I love this color so much, but HP is not a fan. So we'll see if we can convince him to go with this olive green. But if I had my way, I would go for pretty much a very similar look to this van, maybe different color walls, and then the olive green cabinets instead of white. So that is definitely what I like as far as aesthetics looks go. So next is the back area, the rear trunk, and this is oftentimes referred to as the garage. Now this is where, in my opinion, aesthetics is going to meet functionality, and I love those two combinations. And so this van is going to be used, at least for HP and I, whenever we use it, it's going to be used for mountain biking. It's going to be going to Ironman races, triathlons, and all those types of things. We'll of course bring the dogs, Nico and Scout, with us as well. So the trunk area is probably going to look very similar to what you see here. We're already kind of designing a sliding area like this for the bike. That way we can put our mountain bikes there. I can put my triathlon bike there, my road bike there. Of course, storage area for equipment, things like that, dog stuff. And then the water tank would go somewhere around here as well. And you can actually see here, this white box that I'm highlighting is a hot water heater. So we're going to have a very similar setup to that. I think that honestly, this trunk area, if I had my way, would probably look almost identical to this setup. I think that this is a super well organized, super well thought out setup, and I'm really going to try to replicate that as much as possible because whoever made this van build did a great job organizing the garage. Next is the shower. So this was a hotly debated topic because we could not decide what type of shower setup to use. We talked to a lot of our loved ones about it, and there was a number of people that felt like we needed to physically build a shower inside the van. There's a number of people that felt like we didn't need a shower at all, but then HP and I knew we wanted some sort of shower, especially because of the fact that we're going to be taking this van to, triathlons. Anytime I do an Ironman race, the van is going to be what we use. And I know for 100% certainty that after doing a triathlon or an Ironman event, I'm going to want to take a shower. But you can see it right here. There's a suction cup thing that goes onto the glass. And that way you can do a shower and then the line can hook directly into the water, which is inside of the van itself. Then you have a kind of rigged system of doing a shower curtain type thing so that people can't look into what you're doing and look over to see you showering. So it kind of gives you the privacy you need, and it also allows for you to keep clean. So we're going to have that hot water heater. We're going to have the water tank, and then that will allow us to easily be able to shower. Now, I'm not sure if the exact setup will look exactly like this, but it will be pretty close to this setup altogether. But you guys, that is kind of what our thoughts are with the interior and exterior and just design and functionality of the van as a whole. This is something that I haven't talked about, and it's something I've put a lot of thought into. So that's kind of the direction that we're heading in. There's going to be solar panels on the roof, which will give the car energy. This is something that we are currently planning out and working on, and I think that that's going to be probably one of the next big steps in the build. But you can see here that in the video, we got the subfloor installed, and yeah, that was one of those tasks that are fairly easy, but it was really time consuming. So the next step is going to be to start the framing and then kind of start the electrical from there. And so you guys will see that in the next van build video. Like always, you guys, I appreciate you checking out the video and checking out the channel. If you guys could hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.